Jim asks, do you use any testosterone boosters like Alpha Male? Why? Yeah, I used to because I used to get a box of them every month, and I was going through a time in my life where I was working two full-time jobs, training at a high level, had two daughters, my wife on the road a lot, and I was concerned that I was kind of breaking apart inside. Do T boosters work? Well, I still think that vitamin D, going outside in the sunshine, taking care of recovery, sleep especially, some kind of what do they call it? They used to call it autogenic feedback, which we now call meditation. I take saunas, I take Epsom salt baths. I don't know if they work at all, but if you want your T levels to say high, sunshine, recovery, lounging around, intense training are all probably better than a pill over the counter. Having said that, if it's something that you'd want to try, I have no issues with this. I think, in fact, this is a good idea. Wean yourself off of all your supplements and you probably need 2 or 3 weeks, all of them, and then train normally and add the booster. And try to see, for me, I would use something like I have a program called the Transformation Program. I know exactly what's coming up. 3 days a week, you do overhead squats, front squats, one day, 3 sets of 8, 1 minute rest, harder than it looks. One day you do a press and a power curl, which is a curl grip power clean, 3 by 8, 1 minute rest. The other day is whip snatches, that's a high hang snatch, and clean grip snatch, 3 sets of 8, 1 minute rest. And you do a little bit of ab work behind that. And maybe one day a week you'd run like hills, and then one day a week go for something long, a long bike ride, a long walk or something like that. When I say long, it'd be over an hour, whatever over an hour means. If it's a hike, it could be 6 hours. If it's a bike ride, easily 3. Do a program like that. Stick with it. I was going to say religiously, but stick with it. And basically a program you've done before, so you know what the benefits are going to be from it. And then after about a 6-week period, just kind of stop and say, okay, let's assess. You could use before and after pictures, measurements if you get good ones. Measurements are always so tough. There are people probably nodding along here, and other people going, measurements are the simplest thing. All you got to do is ask where the waistline is, and you'll get 1,000 answers. Before and after pictures can be excellent. If you can do some kind of screen like a DEXA, that's even better. I also use those vague ones like quality of sleep, which is there are sometimes kind of hard to get your hand on. And just get a sense of things. If you're male, something might pop up in the morning. That'll give you an indicator whether your testosterone levels are high or low. For females, you might notice other things that probably aren't appropriate for me to discuss. So yeah, Jim, I think there's a value to them, but this is going to have to be an experiment of Jim, okay? And if you don't mind, if you find a brand that you think is really good, and you notice changes, would you mind sharing it with me? And I'll look into it myself. I have to be a little careful at my age because, you got to be careful about, messing with your hormonal system at a certain age because of the issues with maybe encouraging a cancer or something like that, which happens a lot more than you would think, sadly. Jim, that's a good question. It was short, but I liked it. Thank you so much.